Hello there, good evening, and welcome back to the Football Tribe YouTube channel. My name is Robert K. Sakos, and thank you for tuning into the channel from wherever it is that you're catching this from. Welcome back from that 2-week long international break. I hope you did enjoy it. If you're Ugandan fan, possibly you are disappointed by the Uganda Cranes double loss during the international break, in which they lost to Mali by a goal to nil and against Zambia by 3 goals to nil in those international friendlies. But welcome back to the channel. For those that managed to catch our video of the review of the Premier League season so far, in contrast to our predictions for the 2023-2024 season, thank you so much for those that managed to watch the video. If you haven't, you can check out that video on the channel. But welcome back to the channel, and thanks for taking the time. But for today, we'll be reviewing all the action that will be coming your way on match day 9 of the Premier League. It's going to be an action-packed weekend of the Premier League. You see a lot of games coming on a Saturday, and a few of them will be played between Sunday and Monday, because in the midweek there will be action in the UEFA Champions League, the UEFA Europa League, as well as the UEFA Conference League. So let's get it all started by running through all the fixtures that will be coming your way between Saturday and Monday. So the early kickoff on Saturday will be Merseyside derby between Liverpool and Everton. They are at 2:30 p.m. East African time, while at 5 p.m. we'll have a number of games as Bournemouth do host Wolverhampton Wanderers. Brentford will be at home against Burnley, while Manchester City welcome Brighton and Hove Albion. Newcastle will be at home against Crystal Palace, while Nottingham Forest will welcome Luton Town to their turf. At 7:30 p.m. we'll have Chelsea host Arsenal at the Stamford Bridge, while at 10 p.m. Still East African time, Sheffield United will host Manchester United. On Sunday we'll have one game as Aston Villa welcome West Ham United, while Tottenham will play Fulham on Monday night at 10 p.m. So those will be the fixtures for match day 9 this weekend, but we will be going in depth on a couple of fixtures, although our main focus will be on that London derby between Chelsea and Arsenal on this match day 9. So we'll kick things off at Anfield, where Liverpool will welcome their arch rivals of Everton in that Merseyside derby. But Liverpool will be without their defender, that is Andy Robertson, who suffered a shoulder injury while he played for Scotland during that international break. But they will be welcoming back Diego Jota after he served his one-match ban for the red card he sustained during their 2-1 loss to Tottenham Hotspurs. He did miss that game as they shared the spoils with Brighton and Hove Albion in that 2-2 all draw. So they will welcome back Diego Jota as well as Cody Gakpo, who also returns from a knee problem there. So I think Jurgen Klopp will have all the tools he needs to set up a good lineup against Everton, a side that they do know very well how to beat up against in recent times. You have to look as far back as 2021 to try and search for an Everton victory against Liverpool. So usually derbies are tough fixtures, but I do have a sense that Liverpool have always had the edge over this one in recent times, where Everton have been quite struggling. Going through managers, Fal Benitez, they've had Frank Lampard in there. Now you have Sean Dyche. So they've had quite a lot of troubled times, and during that spell, they've lost a number of games to this Liverpool side, who have, for the better part, been at the top of their game. They have been the leading pack. They are chasing Manchester City or rivaling them for the title until they won it in that 2019-2020 Premier League season. So we do expect Liverpool to go ahead and win this game, but Everton will be welcoming back Idris Gana Gueye back from injury. He had missed a couple of weeks out due to injury, but Dele Alli will be out, as well as Seamus Coleman, as well as Andre Gomez. They will be missing that fixture. Either way, an early kickoff on Saturday. I expect Liverpool to make this one, especially as they try to bounce back from that 2-1 loss to Spurs that was then followed by a 2-2 draw against Brighton. Nonetheless, Everton could pose a challenge, but I do think all the favors go to Liverpool in this one. Then moving forward, Manchester City will host Brighton and Hove Albion, hoping to avoid a third consecutive defeat in the Premier League for the first time since 2016. That was when they were still under the charges of Manuel Pellegrini. So, in other words, under the charges of Pep Guardiola, Manchester City have never lost 3 consecutive Premier League games. They come into this fixture after losing by 2-1 against Wolverhampton Wanderers, while the subsequent fixture they did lose by 0-0 against Arsenal. So it is 2 losses on the bounce for Pep Guardiola's side, who were without their star player Rodri in both those fixtures, having been handed a red card during their 2-0 victory against Nottingham Forest earlier on. So they do welcome back Rodri from that suspension, as well as John Stones, who is now fully fit back from injury. He did feature as a substitute in their 1-0 loss against Arsenal, but also managed to play in England's 3-1 victory against Italy for about an hour there. So he also returns, and to full fitness, he will be hoping to start that fixture. Brighton have been bad visitors at the Etihad. There, they've struggled to score goals. They've conceded 24 and only scored thrice in their last, I think, 11 or so fixtures in their visits at the Etihad Stadium. So it's one of those places where they struggle to get results. And again, they have a couple of injuries in their team there, including Pavis Estupinan, who will be absent. You have Julio Inacio, who will also be absent, as well as Tariq Lamptey and Yakub Mode there, who has been on the sidelines for the last 18 months through a knee injury. So it's not a good time for Roberto Di Zerbi to take his team to the Etihad Stadium, especially on the back of a 2-2 draw against Liverpool, and then just to rewind it a little back, a 6-1 stamping against Aston Villa. So they do not look to be at their best at this moment in time, and yet they go to a Manchester City side that wants to bounce back from those 2 consecutive losses. If there's any side you never want to face, is a Pep Guardiola side, especially after such losses. So we do expect Manchester City to go ahead and win this fixture hands down. Like I said, Brighton will struggle to score against Man City. So not be surprised if it is a 2-0 drubbing, or even a 4-0 or a big margin score there for Manchester City. Both sides will have midweek engagements in the Champions League and the Europa League respectively. So we do expect Manchester City to go ahead and win this game. Moving forward, Manchester United at 10 p.m. will play Sheffield United. Now, Manchester United will be without their midfielder, that is Casemiro, after he sustained an injury during the international break, but will have Sofiane Amrabat fully fit despite missing Morocco's 2 games during the international break. Rafael Varane as well as Sergio Reguilon are both fit again. So looks like Manchester United will be welcoming back some of their key players while losing another. And on the back of that 2-1 late victory against Brentford, you think that will inspire them to fight on and beat up against this Sheffield United side that are yet to win a single Premier League game this season? They only have a point on their tally and sit bottom of the Premier League. So, as horrible as Manchester United have looked in some of the games that they have played this season, or where results have not gone on their side, you do expect that they have it in their player power to beat up against a side like Sheffield United. You have Rasmus Højlund there firing on both cylinders, while Scott McTominay, on the back of his brace against Brentford, also managed to find himself on target for Scotland during the international break. So the team will be in good spirits that Marcus Rashford can find his footing against a lesser opponent to try and regain his form that he was on last season, and bearing in mind that he also managed to score against Italy during the international break. So United, I see a United victory in this fixture. But moving forward, the big game of the weekend, again, like I said, will be the London Derby at Stamford Bridge between Arsenal and Chelsea. Now, the two sides come into this game. The team news from the respective camps is that Chelsea Malo Gusto will be returning from that suspension for his red card that he suffered during that he was served during their 1-0 loss against Aston Villa for his bad tackle against Matt Cash in that fixture. So he did miss their 2-0 victory away at Fulham and their 4-1 beating up against Burnley. So Chelsea come into the game in high spirits on the back of winning 2 consecutive Premier League games for the first time under the charges of Mauricio Pochettino. Nonetheless, they will be without Christopher Nkunku, the striker there, while Nicholas Jackson is also a doubt, having pulled out of the international break through injury. Richard James has returned to training after being sidelined for the last 2 months, but Axel Disasi will also be a doubt. The others are Wesley Fofana, Canary Chukwemeka, Trevor Chaloba, Ben Chilwell, as well as Armando Broja will all be absentees for this crucial fixture for Mauricio Pochettino. What would it mean if Mauricio Pochettino could go ahead and pick 3 points against Arsenal, against these title contenders of Arsenal? What a big result that would be for the confidence of his team going forward in terms of what he is trying to build at the Stamford Bridge. Nonetheless, on the other side, Arsenal will have their doubts on Bukayo Saka, who was nursing a hamstring injury, as well as Leandro Trossard with a similar issue there. Both players missed out on the international break through injury, while William Saliba was also an injury culprit during the international break, didn't play for France there because he had a toe injury that he managed to somehow play through with in their last game against Manchester City. So the hope is that he will be fit enough to play Saturday's game. But Mikel Arteta did say that he will be assessed. They will see how he trains. That is on Friday before deciding whether he will play. Chances are is that he will feature in that game. I think it is a crucial game for Arsenal, especially coming on the back of that 1-0 victory against Manchester City. They would want to build on that with another victory against a big team of Chelsea. There, like I said, Chelsea are in good spirits, 2 wins for themselves on the spin, while Arsenal on the other side will look to build on that Manchester City victory. That crucial victory with Gabriel Martinelli's deflected ball by Nathan Ake being the only strike of the game in that one. Arsenal have beaten Chelsea 6 out of the last 7 meetings in all competitions, and they did manage to beat Chelsea home and away last season by 1-0 at the Stamford Bridge and by 3-1 in the reverse fixture at the Emirates Stadium. When you look back last season, but the Arsenal did beat Chelsea by 4-2, I think, in the reverse fixture, while they had lost by 2-0 before the departure of Thomas Tuchel at the start of that 2021-2022 Premier League season. So Those are the last meetings, the last four meetings between the two sides. It's Arsenal that has been the better side to win at least three of the most recent four ties among the two sides. But when you look at the player profile, I do think that Arsenal seem to have a better squad. There will be a return to Stamford Bridge for Kai Havertz for the first time since he made the switch in the summer from Stamford Bridge to the Emirates, while Jorginho will also be returning to his former club, Chelsea. So we are wait to see how the two sides will fare, but I do think Chelsea are starting to build a momentum, and any result that they can pick off against Arsenal, even if they draw, will be a big positive or big plus for Mauricio Pochettino and his team. While on the other side, I would say literally Mikel Arteta will be desperate to gather all 3 points to keep up the pressure on their joint leaders at Tottenham Hotspurs, who do not play until Monday as they welcome Fulham in that London derby. So, crucial tie coming their way there. Now, another key point to note is that Chelsea, in the last 11 games, have only won once at the Stamford Bridge. In the last 11 games, that is, they've lost 5, they've drawn 5, and that last victory was against Luton Town, which was their first victory of the season in that 3-0 victory at the Stamford Bridge under Mauricio Pochettino, winning it by 3 goals to 0. Their last two victories in the Premier League have both been away matches, away to Fulham 2 goals to 0, and against Burnley by 4 goals to 1. So they will be looking to build onto that going into the weekend and try and record another 3 points on board against this yet to lose Arsenal side. So those will be some of the fixtures, the key games that will be coming your way, but it's going to be an action-packed weekend. I do believe that the game between Newcastle and Crystal Palace will be an entertaining one, just as much as that between Aston Villa and West Ham on Sunday. So keep it locked to the channel, and I will see you next time as we look at the results and other action that will be coming your way in the world of football, especially in the English Premier League, the Champions League, and beyond. So thank you for watching. Do not forget to like, comment, and share, as well as subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so that you can be notified when we do drop another video. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.